I have a very unhealthy obsession with spending money.
Mm-hmm.
But I have a healthy obsession with making it.
Sahi, my philosophy inaitwa believe but verify mse.
Yeah, trust but verify. I trust you, I don't trust the devil inside you. In fact, let's do this. I will fight the guy. Boxing match. No, let's do an MMA match. I will fight the guy. If he beats me, I will give him 150,000 shillings. If I beat him, I will have the satisfaction of whooping his
You see that Mbavu Destroyer versus thingy? We can do that for this, eh? That would be really nice, eh?
Send him this clip, that skinny. Hey, you, the viewer. I just want to take this time and I want to thank you. You've really helped me grow. You've really helped this podcast grow. But one thing I noticed is 77.8% of you don't subscribe. And if you love the content we're putting out, guys, we'd really appreciate if you hit that subscribe button. It goes a long way and it'll take this channel to the next level. Subscribe. I think over the past couple of days, my mood has been... It's been off. I've not been 100%. You know what it is? I'm broke. And this is what broke people feel like.
It's the first time in your life you're being broke, right?
Not really. I've been broke before, but it's been a while since I've been broke.
Like Fuliza limit, that's the new we talk about, right?
Yeah, but
we use Fuliza. What's available on Fuliza? 65 Gs, kama...
But Fuliza, I don't think... What's your Fuliza?
2 or 3K.
Okay.
It's not impressive.
Yeah. Mine's just gone up to 8 something recently.
You're not broke. This guy isn't broke.
No, I'm broke, bro.
What your quality of life? Nini you have to cut back on, say, now that you think you're broke.
And that's the thing is when you live a certain lifestyle, it's not about cutting back. It's about adding more. If I'm cutting back, if I cut Fazar off, I'm saving 100k a month. Seriously. Like just get Byron because Fazar, bro, this guy and his brother. They're like...
They have expensive tests that you have to fund.
Very expensive tastes. So for example, if I take Byron out for dinner, but if Fazar don't... I think when you're moving that, it's... when I take Fazar out for dinner, it's Pop's Diner or, Gastro Bar or some steaks. And they don't have the self-awareness to order the cheapest thing on the menu.
Okay. They go for the largest.
Yeah. When I take Byron is very shy. Byron is more cultured. Byron will be like, I'm okay if you take me to Naivas and buy me KDFs and sausages.
Me, I have receipts to refute this. I'm the one who says we go Naivas. He's like, nah, I feel like, let's go gastro. I'm like, I don't really want to go.
You get him
have you ever seen Sajid in a Naivas?
Yes, of course I've been there.
You get him like a predator and ngumu kata tu hivi.
Yeah.
And you're chill. Unaye anataka pelekwe itoka chile that nini place, the steak place in Galana Plaza.
There's a steak place in Galana.
Fogo Gaucho. Fogo Gaucho is not bad, eh?
Really?
But when it comes to ranking steak places, I think the best steak I've ever had is not at a restaurant. It's a guy called Fares Kariuki who's been he just cooks steaks impressively well. Most of the steaks in Kenya are, as the expression in Windy expression we say chale.
What does that mean?
It's passable. It's okay.
Okay.
It's not something you'll remember. It's not like a good fuck. You know, the one that you remember.
Yes. Like 13 years later.
This is just like a sloppy Joe you get in Alchemist.
Yeah.
By some cockeyed Asian mama.
There's like the best steak I've ever had was like at Gilgil, just off the road. A place called Flavors or something. We're coming back from a funeral of all places. So guys walk in there and it's just on the side of the road. We assume that they can only have one thing. Those guys had servings like 6 different meats.
Really?
Like different creatures. I don't know whether to call them creatures or manini. There was beef there. There was veal. I don't know where they got veal from. And it's just like a place up where they had mutton there. There's a bit of lamb. Like it was just an entire array.
Okay.
You give like 2 Gs and then you eat your fill. Which is very worrying, eh?
Which is very worrying. By the way, there's a baby screaming. Can you guys hear that? That's a goat. Those are goats among Eric's neighbors.
Guys are keeping goats in this hood.
I can hear it through the mic, but I can't hear it without the...
You can hear that?
That's literally, they're called kids, right? So there are people keeping...
Is that someone drilling or?
It stopped. Yeah.
Anyway, we're in Eric's new studio.
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys think of this?
Like Kabul space program on steroids.
Is this a jet or a plane?
So many dials. This reminds me of like the control room of a nuclear, operating room of a nuclear plant.
Very
You have dials and like...
It's an Airbus. I personally, and I want guys to comment over here so Eric sees this, I would have gone for a neon picture which I sent, okay? So Byron, put them up over here and put it as picture fuck you 1, fuck you 2, fuck you 3 in order of the neon. And you guys tell me whether you'd have picked the neon ones or you'd have picked this one. Be honest with me. Now, Fazar wants to cheer us up. Apparently, he's got something that will make me happy. But guys, listen, what I suggest is you'll always get thrown curveballs in life, especially these financial expenses. So never think you're 100% stable. This month has been one of the most productive months in terms of where I see the future going, but also from a financial perspective, it has completely wiped me off.
Okay.
So stay positive, have rich friends.
So
Here's the thing: is I need to change my friends as well.
I think me and you, Fazar, on the chopping block, Maza.
100%. I can see he's looking at me like that.
Byron.
So it's like
how
I think I have to change my friends, and then he cuss you ako kamato up, and then you.
Yeah, I can't, the thing is, like when you can call one of your boys, you say, send me a loose mic.
Yeah.
Over here,
You are the guy we called to send
you're the guy. And then, we do it back to back. Fazar calls you, you tell him when me says your one mic, and you sotano peke. And then me call and when you sotano
But you know how important that is? Because if you're knocked back on your feet and you know you're able to get back up, if you're in a room where you are the smartest, you are the most financially sound, you're in the wrong room.
Yeah.
So I genuinely need to, and it's not an insult to the people in this room or the people I associate with. These people, you guys are my co-people. You'll always be there. But in order for me to achieve next level type of growth, I genuinely need to start spending more time with people who have that kind of disposable income where if I'm ever fucked, here.
I think it can be a bit different, Sajid, because I think it's better if you have people around you who have solutions and guys who have a different perspective of where to get money in case you need it as soon as possible.
Maybe I'm just pissed because all my friends are broke as well.
No, like having guys who have solutions in case you have an issue. I think that's better, to be totally honest. It doesn't have to be money peke.
You're being rational. Just listen. Sympathize with me and say, fuck all these guys in the room.
It's okay, Saj. I got parking today. Don't stress.
But you understand that,
yes,
right? Because if push comes to shove, we try to portray this image that we are men and that we will work alone and we'll get ourselves out of it. But the truth is, it takes a community, it takes a village of guys to genuinely build something, a huge industry complex.
I think you mentioned that last time. I don't know which podcast it was. You were talking with someone and you mentioned that like men, especially at the age we're in, man, we have like men responsibilities just pop out at the snap of a finger. So you need to surround yourselves with people who you don't mind showing that you're vulnerable and there's something they need to help you. If you're always around people who you have to be the biggest, the loudest, the richest, the brightest, in the wrong space.
But here, it's also an ego thing. I've never really ever borrowed money from any of my friends. Never. Small amounts in high school, you could say like a Luska 1K. I remember my good friend Hitesh, when I was dirt broke, this was in USIU, there was a very pretty mama. And like everyone had a crush on her. She looked very muzungu. And there was a thing between me and her. And she would give me hints, like during class, she'd take pictures of me or she'd joke or, when she laughs, she puts her...
Akiwewe. I get.
And I think one of the obvious signs was she was going through a very tough time, bless her. And she just gave me a hug and she started crying. So I was kind of nervous, broke boy over there. And then literally she left uni. She started working, and when she came back, she literally visited us at the what was in USIU there was Cafe Latte where everyone used to meet. So she comes, she gives me a hug. She's like, "You have to take me for lunch." No, in fact, I will take you for lunch. I'm working over here. She was working in Grant Thornton. She wrote her number. She wrote her everything. Everything was there. Here. Ask me out.
On a silver platter.
I was such a broke boy and I had such an ego. I didn't even borrow money from Hitesh. And Hitesh was telling me, "I will give you the money to take this girl on a date. You'll never get a chance like that again." You know? And I was like, my ego would not let me.
So ukataikenda hivyo because you didn't want to go and...
Yeah.
But that's not a bad thing. Uzamani mbana
No, but you see, the thing is sometimes I think it like that, you put your ego down. Right, because your best friend is trying to help you in that situation.
Okay.
And I think maybe it stems from an issue within the household where when your father was down and out, he never once asked for money. He would figure it out himself. We figure out all our problems. Because back then, if you look at the structure of the household, the dads and the fathers didn't have the same relationships that we did with our dads and fathers.
Yes.
It was very distanced. Mzee would, "Hey, dad's watching TV, don't talk."
Yeah.
Me and Mzee's watching TV, I'm like, "Where's siongeza volume, bana, so we can all watch
All these
together."
guys who like, dad comes home from work and guys have to run away like in the...
Right, exactly. So that fear
Yes.
meant that there was an isolation. And that isolation meant that you solve problems on your own. And so that systemic issue basically delves down into your psyche. And you are afraid to ask for help. And referencing now the current position I'm in, do I ask for help? Do I reach out within my ether, within my close friends and say, "Can you guys give me a loan?" To which they'll respond, "Oh, we still owe you from the money you gave us."
I think that's a very interesting conversation say to have. I think the biggest intervention someone has ever done to me, like it's intervention and also was literally hosting me for an entire year kwa nyumba yake. Can you imagine an entire year? And it wasn't like a person when he was like single or something. Of course I can give names more or less, but it's someone when I more or less knew the wife. This guy hosted for an entire year, I'm saying, literally.
That's
Kaniko in the depths, like the depths of wherever it was. Yeah, guys intervened. So,
but then there's also a fine line between. I need to stop saying by the way. Like most podcasters, we have to train to not say So whenever I say abuse my mom or something, so then it.
No problem.
Well, kumbafu mamako acha kusay however, moreover, furthermore, in conjunction with
this guy and like classical podcaster with a list of
classical
words.
Or when you're about to say just stop and think about the next word. What was I saying? My train of thought was affected. Yes, when it comes to friends, right? There's also a fine line between people taking advantage of your good nature, and I think I've been more aware of that recently. Is that you give a finger, people will extend the hand. And as an example, "Oh, this is an old phone of yours. Can I have it?" Like generally no one does that. But because they know you're a good-natured person, they will ask at the chance that you say yes. How do you deal with those people?
I have to ask you this. So which one is worse? A situation where someone is more or less grifting you, right? Every other day he wants something from you. Ama a situation where there's one day this person is genuinely going to need help from you, but alikuwa ameharibu kabisa, and now you don't trust them anymore.
Yeah, there's that.
You get? So, I don't know, the type of person I'm trying to develop into ni a person mwenye, of course there's a limit because I'm a human being, but I want to err as much as possible on intervening in the way I can, rather than just having it mutate into something else. It's like a more or less like a diverging, if it's a function, mathematical functions are diverging functions, it's always going to go to wherever it is. But I feel just for my peace of mind, that age where we have a very definite things that we want to achieve. Yeah. That's one of the things. I want to become a person mwenye, regardless of how much umefanya makosa, and regardless of how aware I am of your potential kufanya makosa, you can still rely on me to turn up when you need to. I don't know. You can call me a schmuck. People call me a schmuck when I look at it like that. But it's just a personal goal.
I mean, and what was I going to say? I was. There's a lot of layers to looking at it. I think you don't want to be that guy that constantly asks for things, right? You also want to be that person that can figure out how to deliver on your own and stand on your own 2 feet. And it's something that you should be proud of, that you're able to achieve that. But also building a community of, if you want to help out people, there's a selfless part of it, but there's also I don't want people to be stingy. You know, you're stingy with your money, where guys won't spend on experiences, they won't spend on good food. You know, they'll complain about you spending on a chicken pie because it was 50 bob more than a place in Kile or something. You know, something like that.
Yes.
That's, stay away from those guys.
Bro, Mimi.
So the way I'll frame it is, maybe just to put a pin in this topic, is I have a very unhealthy obsession with spending money. But I have a healthy obsession with making it.
So it's about balancing those two sides of that equation.
So it evens out at times. And it's just about the ebbs and flows. Anyway, maybe we talk about something positive. I think Fazar had...
I have like a funny twist to Yoki to Mesema say, it's like 2010, we just cleared high school and we are like broke guys playing rugby at Impala and whatever. So me and 2 other friends, we decided that us were Queens, the guys we play with against, very big guys. So us, we also need to invest in a bit of supplements, more or less. To Vijana Barobaro, want to be Vijana Barobaro. So we literally spent an entire month, 3 people, me, a pal of mine called Mike, another guy called Omer. We collect like 6 Gs. We want to go get, at that time when you don't know how supplements work.
Yeah.
Just mtaka tumkwe na Omega Masam, whatever. So we collected 6K. Then the very day when we were supposed to go buy whatever at Healthy U, Hilton, Mike calls us, anatushow vile ameshikwa na makarao. He had like weed. Alikuwa na weed, akashikwa na makarao jamu, and those guys want money ndo atoke because it's a Friday. Tukamuliza ni how much wanataka. He tells us exactly what we'd been changaing, 6K. You get? Me, I was like, no. Me, I know Mike because he was like a year behind me in high school, and he's the most mischievous, most lenny person. But my friend Omer was more gullible. So I'm like, we know it's not a debate. I'm here, Omer is there. Umse tumtumia hii 6K atoke ama asitoke. Me, I'm like, tumeteseka mbaya sana kupata 6K. Hatuzipatiwa zama. Omer is like, my conscience doesn't allow me to, I don't know, my friend ako kwa jail over the weekend na neza msaidia. Decided to give the guy the 6K. This guy literally uses that money to go raise up a girl so that he can get laid. Bro, like, you know, like 2010, we are Kibra people. You get? We just cleared school juicy. We have no money, say. It's taken an entire month. And then this guy turns up. Mike.
You know, those are the kind of guys you avoid. The guys that put pussy on a pedestal.
Mike, like, that thing, I know he's disappeared, Kagwa has disappeared. I've been looking for him. Bro, hii pesa hii lazima utarudisha, mse. With interest, 6K in 2010, that's how much, say.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. That's maybe like 20, 30K.
All these trust issues I have come from that guy.
No one dude getting laid giving existential trust issues.
Bro, say my philosophy in it, believe but verify, him say.
Yeah, trust but verify. I trust you, I don't trust the devil inside you. And that's the best way to frame it. I know some motherfuckers, okay, who have traveled with bastards who are fucking... What do we call them?
What bastard?
Actually, we can even say his name. You can bleep it out. This fucking...
Oh my God.
What I know?
This is this guy's brother, yeah? Traveled with a fucking idiot. And when it comes to... No, put it inside.
No. Okay.
You're calling him out. It's been a long time coming, huh?
Fuck this guy. This kid. In fact, okay. We'll cut out that part where I say who he is in reference, but we can keep this inside.
Okay.
This guy is such a miser, yeah? All right. Boys are going out for a date. Me and you, we've gone out for a date. So, and we've agreed to tagawania, whatever the bill is. So my brother goes out with this jama. My brother's got a mama. This guy's got his mama. They order everything, bill in Akuja. Father's like, sawa, it's 5K, let's split down the middle. this guy in front of the bitches goes, no, your mama ordered this. Your mama ordered this. You owe 3K. Me, I'll pay 2K.
So he's going Swedish.
Father was like, you know what? Let me just pay for everything since you're being a cheap cunt. Then he's like, no. It's just, accounting. Accounting, suck my balls. Measure my balls, bitch. And you send him this footage. Fazar. Tell him. Sajid says, fuck you.
I went on a date.
Guys. Those are the guys you want to avoid.
Guys who are extra with their whatevers. With their wantaku.
Imagine with your boys, you're going out on a date and in front of mamas.
You guys start whatever.
You're bean counting. Like those guys will never. Those are the guys you avoid. The bean counters.
Yeah.
Who have a T account for your friendship. Right? We're going out on dates. No, your mama cool at 500 bob extra, so utalipa. I thought we agreed we're splitting it in the middle. Those are the guys you never want to build anything with.
He should get himself like a Scandinavian girl.
In fact, let's do this. I will fight the guy. Boxing match. No, let's do an MMA match. I will fight the guy. If he beats me, I will give him 150,000 shillings. If I beat him, I will have the satisfaction of whooping his fucking ass.
You see that Mbavu Destroyer versus thingy? We can do that for this, That would be really nice,
Send him this clip, that skinny bastard.
By the way,
tell him if you
Byron,
beat Sajid,
we do it. We need it. We hype it.
If you beat Sajid, you get 1 million shillings. If he beats you, he doesn't want anything. So, MMA rules. We'll do 12-ounce gloves. I will fuck that kid up.
Tufuatilie kitu mazini za proper content.
Anyways,
guys are going to be talking.
It's okay. Subject change on a lighter note.
You see how
you story like elimu ujama mbaya sana.
Listen. You want me to get you something to help you relax from the car? Calm down.
Ilimkatia mbaya sana.
You see what happens when guys get broke?
Maze bana.
They start wars.
Maze.
That whole thing is getting cut. Wait.
No.
I think it's good content.
You keep it inside. Just the part where we say how who's in relation with. I'll guide you. Whatever his name was mentioned, they will cut that part.
Yeah, that's just.
Ebu, we make a covenant upper. So if that guy figures out you're talking about him, this thing happens. That thing.
I'll fight him, his brother, and his. Let's throw in his mom as well.
But I think like the way you describe that guy, I'm sure like already najua ni yeye ni nani.
Okay, but like, Byron, when you're editing it, edit it in such a way that you leave the good parts in, and just the part where he's identifying them. What's happening, guys? We have a new sponsor, man. Cameras Africa. They've come in clutch. As the podcast was growing, we needed a partner to take us to the next level, and they came in, and to be honest, they've supported the podcast to a whole different stratosphere. Whatever you see in front of me is brand new. The mics, the FX30s, the roadcasters, the lighting at the back, they sat down with us and wanted to understand what we wanted to achieve. And we told them, and they worked with our budget. So they've come on board as a sponsor. They're really helping the show out. I want you guys to show them some love. If you have any equipment needs, whether it's videography, podcasting, camera, do check them out. I'll link all their details in the description. Show them some love. They've showed us some love. Let's get back to the podcast.
So this fight, how do we call it? So we start typing it. It was Mbavu Destroyer versus that other guy. What's the name of that other guy?
Anyway,
we can have Sajid and like, I don't know, salt.
Can I order you food? You need something to eat. Well, listen.
I don't need food. I just need
caffeine.
Well, listen. In your bathroom, just rub one out. Come back. We'll wait.
I just need money.
By the way, yeah. So proper.
Do I seem agitated?
No. But you know that's the worst type of anger you get. The one that you are calm, where guys don't know what's happening in the background. So that's the worst one.
My worry is, okay, I suck at MMA.
Okay.
Let me just get that clear. Like if you place me in a fight with a random guy at a club, there's a 50-50 chance on whether I win or lose. Okay? I'm not that great. My worry is as I get better, and I know I can genuinely beat the shit out of people. With the way my anger issues are, like let's say some guy dents my car, I'll come out, I'll be like apologies, and then elbow smash.
We do my dad. My dad used to carry our nyaunyo around. You know that happened. I'm going to tendika simba sana.
So that's what I miss about actually. This is actually a really good story, a really good segue. And this doesn't happen anymore in Kenya because it's a bit of a risk. But now we back in the day, this must have been 12, 13. And we were going to Sarit for the movies. So it was and us kids sitting at the back. And he had this beautiful red Merc that he was driving. Now, generally used to be a very short-tempered guy. And the guy used to always carry a
Wow, a Glock.
Not a Glock specifically. It was a Walther P99. So we're driving. Now, another Muindi guy comes up with a Prado. Now, this is, that Sarit roundabout. So you've got the slip road.
Yes.
And then guys trying to squeeze you in. So we're coming out of the slip road, and this guy comes and gongas him. And it was a bunch of kids. So nearly gongaed him. I think they missed a bit, but it was so close. What ticked him off was that Muindi kid told him, fuck you, you old guy. Literally drove in front of him, got out of the car. He said, what now? These kids came out, 4 of them. Pa, 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 bro, knocked down, went, pa, pa, pa. The drivers passed out. The second boy was knocked out. The 2 boys saw him. They got hit. They ran away. Came in, and he left his gun in the car. Because he knew. He left his gun in the car. He left his gun in the car. Basically closed the doors. We went. I said, that was so badass.
Mimi, if you ask me.
You know, the thing is, and sometimes I think that's what it takes is the confines of the law protect pussies too much.
It's whatever to the lowest common denominator.
And back then, if you talk shit, you need to back it up. Guys were beating the
It gets
shit
called
up.
out, kabisa.
You know, the thing is, and when I saw my swing and it gongaed this guy here, the first thing that knocked out were his legs. So it hit him here, that electricity spark went, and the guy's knees went, and the guy dropped like literally a doll. His boy is looking
That
like this.
buckling,
And then the boy is just over there. He doesn't know what's happening. He looks up, pop, this guy's knocked out. These guys rush to get him, and they
They also get theirs.
Yeah. And you know the thing is, my she was just seated there.
Observing,
She was like, this definitely happened before because she was so calm.
Okay.
And then us kids were so jazzed.
I've been told it's better to have such people. Like those are better people who occasionally have this valve where they open and they let off steam, rather than guys who keep everything bottled up. The guys who keep things bottled up, the day that thingy that's gonna open, whoever it is, they're gonna rant onto. It's gonna be really, really bad.
The story I was getting to is that so many people are armed in Nairobi right now. Is that you wouldn't dare pick a street fight. Because you get into a fight with another guy, like a beta guy, you chopper him, the guy goes into his car, he picks up the gun and shoots you. There's a risk of that happening because you don't know how many guns there are available over here.
And then you don't know.
And during that heat, the heated situation, logic, especially when you're not trained, goes out the roof. So you make adrenaline-based decisions or ego-based decisions or anger-based decisions, which are the worst thing. And you've seen these viral clips of guys getting shot because of stupid stuff in South Africa, in South America. Anyway, this whole train of thought was to fuck that guy up, this guy knows, but in an official MMA fight setting. So what we can, possibly a business we can start is, we literally call it Fight Club. So we rent out a warehouse and we do small rings. And if you want to fight with someone, you just come, you sign some waivers, and you fight whoever you want. It doesn't need to be publicized. You just chop other guys.
I think it's at the Alchemist. I think there's like a mini MMA thing.
But that's organized. It's professional. It's this is you and me have beef. Let's fight.
Tuanze showbiz mse.
Don't you think so, Byron?
You know, Nani is my buddy. Kabisa. He was my dad's friend.
Yeah.
This guy on AV Fitness in Lavington. That
Byron,
boxing, whatever uko nyuma. If you guys want it, we can do it, mse. But unajua mimi si mso fight, Like in my 20s, I was a fight guy. So I mean mso flight, That flight.
No, it's and the best thing is always to walk away.
Yes, it is.
Never get into a fight because you never know. And that's why the risk, you see, the thing is you're going to be the most trained fighter. Someone catches you with a lucky punch and you're knocked out. And in a street fight, there are no rules. This guy's boy kicks you with his leg at the back. You're fighting him. Some guy comes and stabs you.
But Sajid, we've had this discussion before. This thing where you find yourself in situations where you have a legitimate grievance, more or less, to really follow up and get your justice, whether you want to call it justice or not. But then you sort of just think about what justice would take, the extra emotion, the extra time, the extra just mental health it would take to get justice. And wanasema tu iende. I think we were talking about that nini who made very racist comments to you during New Year's. You remember? That called mama when you're in uni. And then akasema kitu about the fireworks. Yeah. I think you find yourself in situations so many times, the racism na vitu kama hizo, that you learn how to walk away. You just learn to quantify what your reaction ama wewe could get justice from a situation looks like. And it's just easier to just achana nayo iende hivyo.
Oh, we open up a fight club where you see me fuck up an old Welsh
They
lady.
get to fight someone where if you win, you've won against, I call them oroks.
Byron, have you ever wanted to chapa someone? You gay.
It's a lose-lose situation if you ask me.
You either must be the most calm person or you have nothing going on for you in life.
It's a lose-lose situation where if you win, umemtandika umempiga, you've won against, I call them oroks. But akikupiga, umepigwa na oroks.
Have you ever wanted to fight someone?
Not recently.
But you have, right?
Yes.
Fazar?
100%. Every time I'm on the street and there's a Prado with high beams, I want to beat someone.
But a Prado guy might fuck you up.
I there's a specific demography that I always say you don't have to concede. Unaona kitu ninasema you concede looking away. There's a very specific demography I always insist tukikuonyesha ushenzi, you have to follow through on it. Now it's this new money, rural to urban. Let me call them bastards. Savages. Nani calls them savages. Rural to urban savages. These guys grew up doing, cattle rustling. Katiaring these girls wear kamisis, uko Ocha. And then they've come to Nairobi and now suddenly they want to be the biggest people anywhere they go. And they believe that inconveniencing everyone is a measure of who they are as people. I saw the worst I've ever seen was we're hanging out at Gecko with one of my friends. And then this guy, clearly drunk, decides to drive in with this G wagon. He basically dents 4 cars zikifuatana na anakuja mbio. Dents gari ya kwanza, ya pili, ya tatu, parks it, then starts walking out, sijui aje. Then it's us who are aggrieved. Wasi tumeka chini tunashanga kwa nini. We start chasing him away. And now he starts telling us vile yeye ni nani in Nairobi. Tunajua yeye ni nani. Na ushenzi kama hizo. Those are people I always insist go out of your way to offend. Right? There's a inferiority complex that they have. And you want to measure your value based on how often you want to inconvenience people who you don't know how their day is. You get those. I always insist you have to follow through on them.
That's why I double down on learning how to fight, because I've seen very unassuming guys like Coach Umer. And we'll put up Coach Umer's picture over here. You pick a fight with this guy. You think you can chop him. It is humbling what this trained man can do to you.
It's not a question you want answered.
No.
As a piga ujama, it's a question you don't want to be answered.
Yeah. Fazar's actually seen me fight, quote unquote. Be honest, what's your opinion?
I don't want to get kicked by you.
But Sajid, which is this places you're fighting? Or the way this guy says it, it's like every other day you are in a fight. Kwani ni aje?
I have anger issues, bro.
I mean,
so
you're clubbing.
There's a running joke of an alchemist fight between me and Umer. Maybe let's not focus on negatives. Talking too much about
you
fighting.
need more positive things in your life, Maze.
Let me brighten up your day. Here's my resignation.
Okay, so Fazar wants to give us a test.
Okay.
So sorry guys, this has been the most random fucking podcast we've ever started. But let me formally introduce our guest. This is a nuclear scientist. Agar has been on this podcast 2-3 times before. We'll link those episodes in the description. But he's a good friend of mine. There's a lot we want to get into his recent developments. If you haven't watched episode, by the way, you know episode 1, the first episode we shot with this, we fucked it up. Remember that?
I remember
kabisa. We had to shoot it a second time.
Yes.
The third time it was better. So this is actually the fourth time you've been on Coffee Fam. And we'll get into the nuclear energy stuff. Sorry, I went on a rant.
I think it's not even the first time to mend a rant and then winning. You remember last time we met, we just talking about that car, Mama who was alikuwa semuji jamaa achana na yeye. You remember? You don't remember?
Which mama?
So I told you that girl who was
yeah. So guys, this is the Coffee Bomb style. We apologize, but anyway, Fazar, you want to cheer the mood? What's this? Tell us what this is.
So there's a game for both of you to play. It's a very, very easy Wordle game. I give you some letters, give you an image, and then you figure out the rest of the letters.
You've seen the memes, eh?
I think I have
this
an idea
is literally meme. I know.
Okay.
I know which word you're gonna use.
So I'll show you on the tablet, and then we'll put it up on the podcast, and then we see who gets closest, right?
Okay, so Byron, you're following. We'll put these up as well for everyone to see.
Yeah, my brightness.
This guy doesn't see the reels too much, man. I suspect
Yeah, he has.
it's that career level.
Which one do you think it is?
Anyway,
You know we're racist. Me and Sajid, we're racist as fuck, right?
I know what your Instagram handle is. I know.
Yeah, we're racist mbaya sana.
This is number 1.
So no. I told you.
What's this?
Wewe hii sasa ni wewe sasa. Mimi ni kucheka tu. Ama mimi I do the reactions. You normally see the normal meme when msana angalia alafu na just to pressure you. Okay. So, answer.
No, you both can try.
have you shown Byron this picture?
So hiyo ni wewe. So kazi yetu ni those facial expressions.
That's a burger.
A burger.
Mhm.
Agar, you agree?
Yes.
Okay. Next one. What's this one?
Byron, have you seen this one?
Oh, Byron, look at this one.
Ni wewe, all you bro.
Why me?
Because the trap is like me I can just I can get away with it, right?
That's singer.
Singer. Agar, you agree?
Yes.
You don't think it could be anything else?
It could be something else.
What else could it be?
Let's just
He's a
go to
kinda
the
big
next
guy.
image. Let's go to the
He's a
next.
big guy, so he can
We'll
be
get
bigger.
cancelled. We'll get cancelled. But
Okay. Another one?
That's a complicated one. No. I figured it out.
Byron, what do you think
Byron,
this
What
is?
do you think this one is? Dude, Byron looks flabbergasted.
Kwani say like I see these things on my kwani my algorithm iko messed up aje maze. I only get racist stuff maze.
Fazar, you're trying to set me up. Okay.
To this one.
That's a digger.
Really?
Yeah, because it's oil digger, right?
No, it's rigger.
Rigger. Okay. Sawa. Okay,
Rigor
so
mortis.
Ah,
I got that wrong.
Like an oil rigger.
This one.
Yeah. Okay. I've seen it before. Hebu tuone Byron anasemaje.
Byron, this guy is setting me up, eh?
What's this one, Byron?
Sajid, I'm genuinely worried because I get these reels on like every day on my kanini hapo hivyo feed. But then apparently Byron has patangi. Byron, kwani wewe algorithm yako inakaaje?
So this,
Agar,
Oh, just buri, yeah?
you know, our algorithm is very similar.
Yeah, it's messed up, man.
Fazar, you're definitely trying to get Coffee Bomb cancelled. This is
Me, I've seen it before, so I know what's up.
What is this one?
What
Agar.
is-
It's a dagger, right? He's holding a dagger.
dagger.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, fine. We allow that one.
Mm.
I think we have one more.
Yeah, that one now. Hiyo ni shida kiasi, eh? Gonna take a while. I want to see what Byron says. Huyu ashafail hiyo. Give him time, eh? Hebu tuambie. Okay. Wewe ungeanguka hiyo.
It's numbers.
It is numbers. Right?
So another one.
This is numbers.
It has to be numbers.
I think it's
Hiyo
numbers
ingine ni
because,
mimi sasa, you
because it
get.
says 1, 2, 3, 4.
What are they wearing?
Like numbers. It's numbers.
No, what are they wearing?
1, 2, 3, 4. It's numbers, yeah.
Players.
Players.
Oh, nice.
Numbers. Like science people.
Like
are over here.
mbona basi, it's like 1, 2. Like the thing that stands out in the picture are the numbers.
Yeah.
There's an old guy holding a medieval weapon over here, and you're asking why numbers are in order here.
Okay. So is there another picture?
Is there another one? I think we can come up with a better racist one, proper racist one. Eh?
Anyway, we've established Coffee
That guys are
Bomb.
gonna stumble over.
We've established Coffee Bomb is not racist.
Really?
Yes. Otherwise, we would.
Because if guys get access to algo, we are doomed. Eh? I almost said the F word, but I can't say the F word. I have to moderate myself. Eh?
And we're back
Yes.
from the peace break. Sorry, guys. That first section was us just venting. But Aga,
When I C4 is always gonna be a recipe for having power breaks in between.
by the way, there's like skeletons on this and warnings and Sijui.
200 milligrams, right?
Do not
Of
have
caffeine.
if agitated.
But we have to follow up on that thing. Eh? If you guys decide, it can be.
No, listen.
This
This
can
is
do like an upmarket sort of nini.
you get. This is a. I mean, no. We have to focus. We have to focus on you, bro, because we have a nuclear scientist over here. And first half of the podcast, we're talking about Tomba and some guy's sister-in-law,
Maze.
Maze. So like, Yani, we need to level up, Byron.
What do you mean level up?
Like, these producers need to keep us in track.
Yeah.
First, you start off by insulting me.
I thought
Sorry, I'll just
I thought you wanted to say that we changed the topic as if you're kwenda kupigana na wasi na cooling other people's wives is level down. No, guys, cooler people's wives mbaya sana hapa nje.
So,
Why don't you look at me like that?
listen. Me, I'm a one woman man. I've been baptized. I'm an innocent soul and reborn.
Vile inafaa maze.
Those shenanigans stay from episode 1 to 50.
Yeah. Like
1 to 75.
I used to be very skeptical when I used to talk about it, Africa. That there's a point in Africa, it's no longer an issue, bro. You're no longer interested in spending your time raising up people just for the sake of gala every other day, right?
You know what it is, bro? It's just I'm broke.
Really?
Remember when 50 Cent says you don't see rich guys fighting in clubs?
Yeah.
You just
So-
it's the broke guys throwing fists because
It's like a form of birth control, Male birth control is,
having money.
yeah. Having money is the line between you getting kids and not,
So whenever anyone notices a distinct change in my character, you should leave a comment, Sajid, that you broke this month.
Ama uweke till number hapa. Watu weke kani.
I feel guilty about asking for money, you know?
He used to have those captions in like earlier episodes.
I never.
There's one I wacha bana.
I've never asked for money. bro.
You'd hapo hivyo ati kuna kitu niliona sijui muindi anataka kununua kitu. You'd put very weird captions that would be scrolling in your videos. I really like them actually. Tuma kitu. He says as if he's talking to someone. Ati tuma kitu bana muindi apate kitu ya kukula. Those are the sort of things that would be scrolling in his videos.
What was that?
That's nice, msee.
What was that? No.
I'll show you a screenshot.
No. It wasn't asking for money. It was asking people to subscribe. So it would come at the bottom.
Oh, yeah.
It would be like, Wes, you subscribe. Watch out, Jinga.
Yes.
Support Mwindi. And then after 5 minutes, it's like, Uja subscribe, Banchod. You don't like Mwindis.
I love it.
And then...
Love it, kabisa. Ujama. Sajid, my opinion is, in as much as subscribers you give, I believe the people who listen to you and everything you do cannot spend. These 10,000 or 20,000 subscribers, those guys, I'm 100% sure they cannot spend what's in your skim.
And I appreciate each and every one of the subscribers. And the
I
thing
can't name. I wanted to put a name.
No. Here's the thing. I will never ask for them just to give me money for the sake of it. It has to be an exchange of product or service related items. So I would want them to support me if I have a product that I genuinely believe in, like the coffee beans we're working on or the tea we're working on. Do you know what I mean?
This guy. Uzamani mbana.
No, because
literally, anytime you have something up on YouTube, a new video or whatever, that is the thing you're giving these people.
okay, but
So asking them to remunerate you, ama to improve the podcast, because it's very routine. Nani's podcast, the way it's slowly catching up in terms of standards, Rapture, it's literally guys who listen to him.
like even Kisiangani, I love what Kisiangani is doing.
Yeah.
In terms of asking his fans to buy him, but that's not how I was raised, bro.
What do you mean?
I would never ask guys to buy me something.
But okay, not even buy you ama kitu kama hiyo. But dude, you have a product that you've given out hapo, asking people to
So even
to compensate you for it because it's your time.
So even Eric used to do this. There's a barcode use. What is it called?
A QR code ama katip hapo.
Yeah. Paka CG like an entire podcast was just the small thing over here and the tip. So for me, I have to get over the fact that I feel like that's begging for money.
Hii ndio baya kupeleka watu ECG St Mary's na CG USIU and whatever. Guys, that ka 50 bob or 20 bob that those people are putting up with, given the product, whatever it is you're delivering over 2-3 hours when you're seated with Eric and Farid, bro, where are they going to get anything like that? Your podcast is very unique. Na vile tu nimesema hapa sahi, those top 1,000 people, when they always going to watch all your episodes, they can transform your podcast. So that I don't think it's a handout. It's an investment in your podcast. It's an investment, Ama. They want better content. They want you to stop being a salary man so that you can generate this content back to back. If you have a shortcut, not even a shortcut, if you have a path to that where it involves your viewers, where they're going to feel that they're part of this journey you're in, why is that a bad thing?
I didn't think about it like that.
Wewe achana na mambo ya nini. Wewe niyo, nimekwambia you St Mary's. Ye sasa ye kupa 50 bob anaona mseme tuma 50 bob ama 20 bob ama 30 bob. He sees it as so I'm 100% sure you're conscious. Basically tells you that you are more or less similar to some dude akomali anagonga hivi eka bob. That's not the situation. You have a product that you want people to invest in. Give them that option to invest in it, bro.
Because very good points, very valid points. I look at this as an escape for majority of our viewers who they go through the 9 to 5 cycle, they struggle. So for them to come and me asking them for money just to enjoy my content, I feel it takes away from what is. There's a different rather than asking, what I'd recommend people to do is maybe join the memberships. Right? Maybe that's an easier way because we post videos earlier. That way they're getting a benefit directly. But rather than me saying, I want to buy a new camera, so you guys send me money. I can't get over that. I've never done that in my life.
No, me think you're just being tough on yourself.
What do you guys think? Fazar, Byron, your opinions are...
Yes. Right?
I agree with Agar here because
These are people-
because look at this. Look at this. In the US, they have Patreon, right? They have super chats. They do lives. They have this. That's a different form of support. I've never seen any of the US guys say, guys, and maybe there are a few, but I've never seen guys do that Kenyan stuff where send me M-Pesa on this.
Me, I think you're just giving yourself a hard time for no good reason.
Maybe you, the
This
audience,
guy-
you guys tell us.
Let me tell you.
What do you think? Do you think it's wrong to ask for money? Do you think it's as I put it, and not to say that I wouldn't love the support of the viewers, but I don't want this to become a monetization relationship between me and the viewer, where every time they're watching as an escape from their life, and I think there's a catch to it. Give me money to buy a new camera. Give me money to do this. That's not mine.
Pana. Sajid, look at it like this. You raise a very important point. You're like, these guys who are doing 9 to 5, they have a tough day at work, and then they get home hivi wametoa vitu wamekaa kwa couch, and then there's a new podcast. Sajid has uploaded something new. There's something this does to these guys. It's a form of therapy, more or less. Because maybe most of the time when in the office they're surrounded by orcs and those rural to urban savages I was telling you about. So it's now an opportunity to watch people who you can relate to talking about what's happening in their lives. That is a form of therapy. Therapists get paid. Right? When you're paying for therapy and then the therapist decides to buy a Porsche, are you going to say that we've contributed to this therapist buying a Porsche? This therapist has been paid enough to move away from a one bedroom in Nairobi West to a proper posh place in La Vie, where anybody who's coming to vent, it's a complete package. You can't say that that's begging, right? You need to recalibrate your definition of what is value and what isn't. Webu niambie, it's an attitude I used to have quite a lot. What exactly is the product that lawyers make or create or supply?
Expertise of the law.
Then we can package your podcast and the topics you decide to talk about and your ability to bring people who can contribute to whatever it is you're talking about as an expertise. Right? What's wrong about getting paid for your expertise? Right? Don't be tough on yourself. You're really tough on yourself, Sajid. I'm surprised, eh? Mbona?
I don't know. We'll have to psychoanalyze that, but
don't be tough on yourself. We were just talking up asai about tough nini who don't want to ask for help na vitu kama hizo, right? And I don't think it's help. Pia another thing. This is value. Guys are getting value. There's no money they're getting. They're giving.
Yeah.
But there's a service you provide, Sajid.
But by the way,
right?
So I agree with you, and you've definitely changed my perspective. Eric said that we need to think about it differently because we're not in the same as the US. Where not everyone has openly credit cards and can support the channel and do super chat. So we have to find another way to monetize. If we want to do this full time, we have to get the support of the audience that's building with us. And if they're willing, we should allow them. I just don't want to commercialize or prostitutize.
It's not the same thing.
Is that the right word?
It's not the same thing.
Yeah.
It's not the same thing, commercializing it or monetizing it.
How about we just do OnlyFans, bro?
Yeah, you can do that, by the way.
All right. Let's talk about nuclear energy. Because
Yes.
it's gone from sister-in-laws to beating people in MMA clubs to Fuliza accounts to...
Maze.
OnlyFans. Agar, you wrote a book.
Maze bana. I wrote a book.
Tell me more about it. What?
The crazy thing is, this is not the first time I'm being published, to be totally honest. Okay, not that I remembered, but there was a time I was published was in Korea, where we were raising like money for a dog shelter in Dead Zone where I was, and so we decided to collect short stories, and then we sell it to Kamayo. We had a huge launch. Guys were actually quite surprised. It's a bit of racism, eh? You're a black dude, you write a story that's the best in the book, and then guys are surprised. I didn't know that to black people. After Korea, they have this thing they call the native English speakers, and it's from very specific countries. There's the UK, there's Australia, New Zealand, and of all countries, South Africa. So South Africans are considered native English speakers, but us Kenyans are not.
Why not?
Can you imagine? Yeah, you know those Afrikaners with that accent. Yes, those guys. So for them, it was surprising that a non-native could write the best story in the book, a short story.
Yeah, there was also, when I was in Wales, there's a Mwarabu guy who says, "Where are you from?" I'm like, "I'm from Kenya." He's like, "But you're not black." I'm like, "They're non-black people." He's like, "Your English is so good." Fucking Mwarabus, eh?
No, it's this thing where people associate English and these things that for us is very normal. It's a form of elitism, right? A form of elitism that you speak English. One thing that really used to mess up most of these girls were trying to hit on na kwantaka story yangu was how I used to hang out around white people in Korea, my rugby team. So it would be like this teacher was wanafundisha na English, it's all white, and then I'm a black guy hapo. So in their mind, it's like, so black people are supposed to be, okay, of course kuna watu wenye wako more reasonable, but then you have those very conservative Korean girls or whatever. So according to them, being around white people and speaking English na vitu kama hizo is supposed to be very elite, but you're clearly a black dude. So mbona uko kwa hiyo group? It used to fuck them up kabisa.
Do you look at that as racism or just lack of knowledge? Because if we go to Wales, for example, and that Welsh mama, who when she saw fireworks, she said, "Your people like things when they blow up."
I think it's
Is it a combination?
It can be a combination.
Like if you go to the village in Kenya, for example, and they've never seen a muzungu, they even call mwindis muzungu. It's curiosity, right? Or when you go to China and you're an African, a black African, and they want to touch your hair or take pictures with you, and they're very surprised, that you can talk Chinese or something of sort. We can't really attribute that to racism, but basically lack of exposure.
And also the fact that it's not really adversarial and there's no, like, any sort of damage or harm they do is very I wouldn't call it hypothetical. It is not really that bad, right? It's maybe your ego kiasi imesongesho kiasi. But there's this other one where they have a bias because you're black and the way you behave the way you're behaving ama vitu kama hizo, there's a way you're supposed to sort of fit a certain stereotype. You get. Now, if you're not fitting it, they wanna insist that you fit it. Hata kama that's not your life, you get. So you're mbaya. But hii ingine ya random comments ama sijui nini, I know for a fact every single black person who's dating a lady who is not black, I'm sure the N-word is used quite a lot kwa hiyo nyumba, especially in the bedroom, right? There's a bit of slave play hapo. It's routine. It's come on. Ama Byron wendo unaweza niambia. You've been called that word multiple times if you've dated any of this, right?
So if a white mama calls you, if you're dating a white mama, what you're trying to say is
there's a bit of master versus slave action happening, dude.
Well, like she calls you Django.
No, get out the movie.
Yeah. Okay. So I think the most weird one it might happen is I insisted that I wanna cosplay as Harry Potter, and then bro, like it's a thing, bro. So there's a wand involved, eh?
Okay, to tell us this. So this is.
You have to be measured, eh? Because as you mentioned, we are now.
Don't worry. No one watches this podcast. No one will hear this. Tell us.
So they're called love motels in South Korea. All over the place, that is called love motels. Now, the reason why this is a niche in Korea is that people live with their parents in Korea until they're like 40, until they get married. So you clear high school when you're 18, and then if you're gonna get married when you are 20, of course you're going to live in the dormitory if you're in uni ama kitu kama hiyo, but when it's vacation time you go home back to your parents. 25-year-olds are going to try to get some, right? And they need a place to get some.
So you get love hotels.
So you get this. It's very similar to lodgings. I think they call lodgings here in Kenya, but now it's with a bit of less possibility. You might sleep on a bed that has bed bugs.
Yeah.
You get. So they're themed. You have Harry Potter themed love motels and rooms where you pay like the equivalent of 15 Gs and then you have 3 hours to yourself hapo ndani with your girlfriend if you want, or you just go by yourself. Then you call. Kuna catalog hapo kando.
So who do you dress as? Ron Weasley?
I wanted to dress as Harry Potter, and then she made a very racist comment, man. It really hurt me.
What did she say?
There's no such thing as a black Harry Potter. And you know, like when I was in Primo, this guy is agreeing. Why are you racist? Fucking racist. So what happened is, yeah, so Harry Potter was my thing when I was in Primo. Olympic, ile Kibra huko. It's very weird. You're in Kibra huko chini and you have a Harry Potter. So guys used to call me Harry Potter. So me, I've been growing up, I'm in Harry Potter, maze. Then this Korean tells me I'm not, maze. It really hurt me.
So during that...
I actually left.
Seriously?
Bro, lazima kuna, you have to have standards, mse. Like Ndio, she wanted. No, Z. Like if you accept that, what are you willing to... You know, if you accept such stuff, there's no coming back from it, maze. You have to draw a line somewhere, huh?
What's that noise?
That, yeah?
It's how flashing out all your dreams.
No black Harry Potter.
Okay, so if not Harry Potter, who's the second best character?
In that universe, am I just generally in my...
For your preference?
Let me see. Really? Because most of... I'm trying to imagine a person I would cosplay as, and I cannot think of anything other than Harry Potter.
I don't mean to be racist, but is there a black guy in Harry Potter?
Yes, there is.
Franchise?
Dean Thomas, right? Dean Thomas is black. Dean Thomas, right? No. Dean Thomas dated Ginny Weasley.
No, there's a dude in one. There's only one black dude.
Which one?
Like 3 minutes. Remember when who's that crazy chick who can see spirits?
Anani.
See, she was there in that scene for like, there was a dude there for like 2 minutes and then gone.
Really? Because me, I remember Nani. Dean Thomas was black, right? And then, there were the two Indians, Parvati Patil, right? And the other, the one who dated Ron Kiasi. Let me see, who's also ethnic. So, now I talk about races. So when I was reading Harry Potter initially, like Goblet of Fire, when Cho Chang is introduced, I did not know she was Chinese or she was Asian.
Really?
I did not know. Can you imagine?
I haven't watched those movies in a while, but I do remember her as being Asian.
You have Googled black people of Harry Potter?
Kingsley Shacklebolt.
Are you talking to the mic? Fazar?
Kingsley Shacklebolt is black. I hope you're not talking about the new Harry Potter. The new Harry Potter is messed up. They have Snape. You know Snape is black in the new Harry Potter. Even Voldemort is black.
What do you think of that?
It's a tragedy. It's a disaster. So let's just think about it. So the whole story about Snape, his conversion into easily the most admirable person in fiction. So this is a spoiler more or less, but anybody who's listening to this, you've had like how many years to read Harry Potter? I'm not spoiling anything. So the story, the sort of character arc, Snape in the books and the movies, the original one was this secluded dude who loved Muggleborn, the called Mudbloods, who is Lily's Harry Potter's mom, to the point where after Lily Potter has passed away so many years back, he still decided to risk his life to bring up the Harry Potter. Like almost like a secret. He keeps his commitment to Lily Potter.
Snape.
Yeah, Severus Snape, right?
Yeah.
And one of the biggest things that made that unbearable was the fact that James Potter, Remus Lupin, Sirius Black, and Peter Pettigrew literally bullied this guy to infinity, right? They were very, very tough on this guy, and they were very cruel to him. There's that scene in Order of the Phoenix where Harry sees Snape's memory, where they have Snape levitating upside down. Yeah. These guys have created a situation where if James Potter and his friends are gonna bully Snape, it's gonna be racist.
So Harry Potter's dad was a dick.
Yes, mbaya kabisa. Then akachukua, like, he bullied Snape mbaya kabisa, and Snape had a thing for Harry's mom. You get, these people have made Harry Potter racist, a racist thing. Snape, they've made James, Lupin, Sirius Black, and Peter Pettigrew into racist.
Well, this will be the most random fucking podcast.
Right? Because how are they going to rationalize these 4 white kids doing that to a black kid? It's going to be interpreted as racism.
So Snape is black.
No. Okay, this new version is black.
So that's dope.
No, I don't want it. Wameharibu kabisa. The fact that it is going to be white kids, James na marafiki zake, doing that to a black kid, the visuals of it is going to be James Potter was racist and Sirius Black maze. You get? That's the situation.
So it changes the tonality of the story.
Yes.
That Harry Potter's dad was
a racist.
part of the KKK.
Yes. That's literally what's going to look like. You get? This thing was supposed to be one of those things, like that character, when you realize the things Snape has done, it's supposed to be like one of those great things in fiction.
But that's what they're doing generally in all movies, is they're whitewashing. Oh no, really whitewashing. They're culturally integrating people. Like, for example, James Bond.
Who asked for a black James Bond, Mazi?
Byron. Would you watch...
Who asked for it?
Like, genuinely, would you want James Bond to be white or black?
No,
and by the way, if you guys haven't seen Byron, we can put up his picture. Byron is black.
I remember you guys saying that you're taking orders for coffee, and then this guy wanted hot chocolate or something. Like, but it's, bro, more power to you. You know that mimi my masculinity yenye nilikuwa nao when I was 20s ilikuwa huko Wajaka, huko Maseno. Literally the boundary between Wajaka na Waluya. So we used to get exactly. That was the nearest town. So our version of masculinity ilikuwa ile njaro ya bro, some things that always carrying an umbrella is gay. Imagine. So, you know, it was so bad, that thing. You know, that was the being 2008. I found myself in Korea, mvua inanyesha, and I need to carry an umbrella. So, because there's a residue of that alpha when I'm in Korea, I decided to tuck it into my belt so it looks like a sword. So options ilikuwa mbili, either tuck it in, it looks like a sword, ama unaibeba hapa kwa nini kama shoka. What sort of masculinity is that? If you love black chocolate, hot chocolate, you like it, tastes good.
Yeah,
like,
you know, we used to make fun of kids who used to dress well.
Yeah.
Like, I always reference Mohammed Jaffa. Yeah, I think I've told you the story before, right? The guy with like a massive dong. Jamal would always like have his tie up here, sweater intact,
clean,
socks were at level at a certain place throughout, measured. You know, sweater was literally just above the watch cuff. Very polished gentleman. We used to call him gay. You know? I think we all stopped making fun of him when we saw his dick. We were like, this is...
It's like that thing where...
It's a bit shocking.
If you read one book and you've taken a shower, that was in high school, If you've read a book or two and you've taken a shower and then you are eloquent, you're gay. That was the situation.
No, but...
you know that the people carry this into their 30s.
Like, so here's the thing is what a big dick will do for you in life. Mohammed Jaffa was unequivocally gay prior to that. He was considered just a weird kid. Okay? We knew he liked girls, but it was easy to pick on him. He was a hunchback. He would walk weird. He would get A's.
Big
everywhere.
guys.
You know, he couldn't play sports. Like when he runs, he could have this weird thing. It looks funny. And so when picking teams, he would always be picked last. I mean, I'd get picked over the guy. I used to hate soccer. So he was, by all measures, bullied by everyone. And this was his seniors, his juniors, even the teachers would make fun of him. Then that day came, which I've talked about on the podcast previously, is when he didn't have a swimming costume. And the teacher told him to go and wear one from the Lost and Found. And so, unbeknownst to him, he wore maybe one that was 5 times as bigger than him. Maybe it's like you wearing Eric's boxers. You'd float.
It's like a skirt.
Yeah, exactly. And
it's like a kamisi.
As he walked...
Guys could see that thing
you know,
swishing up with as if it's an elephant tusk.
You know, as he walked, now you can just imagine all of us were standing in line. Mr. Kimani was waiting for him. and we were all talking, and then the room fell silent. And now picture this: ZZ Top's "Sharp Dressed Man" song playing. You know, every well woman wants a sharp dressed man. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. And then Mohammed Jaffa walking, slow motion, and this fucking big thing, boom, 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 between his legs. And everyone was quiet. Paka even, I think a bird hit a tree just looking at that thing.
A proper pendulum, eh?
You get it. It was your size in between his legs. All right. And then just that song, ZZ Top. Just imagine that guitar playing and everyone just looking like this. The gardener, the teachers, you get the birds. From that day, no one fucking talks shit about him. You get even the headmaster was shaking his hand in the morning. Because
Okay, the dude had the biggest shlong in a 1 mile radius. Yeah.
I mean, when you show that much, you don't need to show anything else.
And if you're showing it like that, and then there's a time for it to grow,
Yeah.
right?
But then you can, that explains why he was handicapped. You know, that's explain why he was
He couldn't run.
unable
He
to
might
run.
trip on it, bro.
Yeah, exactly, because that thing was constantly taking blood away from his body. So he couldn't move. But anyway, it goes to show in a school how you can change your aura.
Yeah. At the snap of a finger.
Yeah, if you have a very big dick, just show it. Tell everyone. Sasa, what will you guys do?
Me, I found myself in a similar situation, but a very modified one, kiasi, and I think it can come back to this. So,
A nuclear reactor dick.
no, not that one. Achana ile mambo ya nini. Hizo ma sauna in Korea. So this one, more or less a reunion among people I went to school with. And then someone decides that I'm the person, you know, that sort of masculinity where your masculinity is not built on your effort or your virtues or anything. It's more built on how you feel you can dominate people. You get? And so I'm a natural target with these Maseno people because in high school, you're going to see me on every single list of performance. You're going to see me in the top of the class. I'm going to be there. You're going to see me on the rugby field destroying stuff. You're going to look up to me.
Yeah, you were a Rouge player.
So, captain that team for a bit. So, I didn't know that there were people in my circle who that did something to them. Now I understand kabisa because I've thought about it very well. Now I understand why that's an opinion those guys have. These are people who, when they were doing KCSE, more or less like me, they didn't go to the school they wanted. They wanted to go, I don't know, Alliance or Starch or something. They ended up coming to Maseno. And because they thought that Maseno was the second choice, they turned up and they still were not good enough. They still found people like me there who are going to kick their ass in class. Then you go on the rugby field and still dominate them. It did something to them. So it's a permanent damage you get. People have held on to this thing for 19 years, bro. We have a reunion, and then this particular guy decides that mimi ndo ananitumia ku scale whatever. Alafu najua I didn't have that emotional intelligence here. Kuelewa that was what he was doing. Right? Yeah. So, bro, you can't have a BSc in nursing. Can you imagine you want to be the most alpha in a group of 35-year-old arrogant people from Maseno, and you have a BSc in nursing? It's weird, right?
Yeah, male nurses.
You're a fucking male nurse, eh?
But I think that's acceptable, right?
It's acceptable, but if you're gonna plug, because okay, I have to be reasonable, eh?
Like
Comparing dicks.
Like if you're going to talk shit.
Exactly. If you're gonna create the discussion to be about traditional masculinity, you can't be a BSc. Can't have a BSc in nursing. You can't have a BSc in nursing and still try to be the alpha in the room. You get? So it's just stupid. So suddenly, mi nimeenda ni mambo huko vile mi ni hot air, nini. The next moment, I'm the youngest director in a government parastatal in Kenya. Literally the nuclear guy. So I'm like, it's a stupid way where mi na wewe, we grow up.
Let me see the book.
We grow up and we outlive this petty dick measuring contests. And then you still have people in your circle who want to maintain that kaushenzi.
So let me ask you, where can people buy this book, Nuclear Energy in Kenya?
Yeah, so there's a soft copy available on Amazon. We just, me and Professor Lawrence Gumbe, we just talk about nuclear in Kenya.
We'll talk about this book, but we'll put the link in the description in the I'm proud of you, bro, because explain to me what exactly this dives into.
Yeah, this more or less addresses quite a number of issues we have in this country and Africa, to be totally honest, about nuclear technology. We address everything from how mature the technology is, efforts that have been done to harness this technology that is old as hell. People normally don't really understand how old this technology is. It's nothing new. It's been there for, well, the first nuclear plant was, did its unit of first criticality in like 1945, in Rukofami. So the centerpiece of it all is more or less the Kenyan program, where people are saying that the only reason why this thing exists is because the late Raila Odinga said he wants it, trying to make it seem as if it's something that just started last year, more or less, when it actually started all the way back in 1965. Right? That's when Kenya joined the IAEA, right? Yeah. So it's that. We talk about reactor physics, of course, very mild reactor physics. We talk about radiation. We're talking with you about the death toll from Chernobyl and all that. We talk about the radiophobia that exists.
What's radiophobia?
It's this fear of radiation, that people have an irrational fear of radiation, where people tend to conflate between nuclear power plants and nuclear bombs. People think that Chernobyl was a nuclear bomb explosion, and even if you ask them the casualties, they're going to give you figures from the bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, when it was actually a hydrogen explosion. Radiophobia is big, mbaya kabisa. And one of the examples I give in the book is there's this hill in southern Nyanza. That's where my people are from. It's called Homa Hills.
Yeah.
It's a source of natural radiation. Now, the amount of radiation it emits, if you were to build this nuclear plant today near that hill, the biggest source of radiation will not be this new plant. It will be this Kahil, where people have lived around for hundreds of years, thousands of years, probably possibly tens of thousands of years since man evolved first up in East Africa.
Yeah.
It's just debunk. I don't like that language of debunking. I don't like it because it implies that you're there with a sledgehammer. Okay, I like it kinda, and you wreck whatever people's opinion about this technology is all about. But it's given from a perspective of empathy.
So the last episode we did, there was developments in Kilifi that were halted because of the marine life and the geological effect of building a nuclear power plant over there. Is there any initiative to push that forward? Is there any plans that have been progressing since we last spoke? That we're generally going to pursue this.
So one misconception that we tend to see when we're doing stakeholder engagement and just talking to the public about this technology is people are of the opinion that we've disregarded the site at Uyombo in Kilifi, that the nuclear plants are going to build there. We've identified quite a number of sites in Kenya where what we've done is to reprioritize Siaya over Uyombo for the first plant.
Siaya is where?
Siaya is in Nyanza province on the shores of Lake Victoria.
Why specifically there?
There's a bit of site characterization that's happening up. The design we want, one of the criteria that you want to use to develop when you're building a conventional nuclear plant, one of them can be access to a large body of water. Now, access to the large body of water...
To cool the reactor, though?
I wouldn't really call it cooling, because if you look at the temperature gradient from where the fission is happening inside the nuclear reactor to the output or the input of the water from the lake, it's almost 100 degrees. Right?
So why would we need...
we use it to do something called the closing of thermodynamic cycle. Literally, you see what air does to your engine in your car. See, there are quite a number of loops up ndani. Kuna malenye, the internal combustion is happening. Then there's a loop that is more or less, it's usually oil, right?
Yeah,
and then the oil, yes. And then the oil is cooled by air, right? So there's no contact between the air coming in this cathode loop with the very first loop where there's the combustion is happening, right? So literally, that's the case with the nuclear.
Water,
yeah, you get.
Okay.
But the designs, the designs that make us not need to put a nuclear reactor next to a lake or a large body of water. The example I normally gave are these reactors in France. France has reactors on rivers.
Really?
Yes. And they're able to achieve that by putting these cooling towers. Those hyperbolic structures that are always venting something. So that thing you see them venting, it's not smoke. It's water vapor. You get, so whatever temperature gradient exists between the inlet, between the lake inlet and the outlet of a nuclear plant is negligible. We're not using it to cool. We're just completing a thermodynamic cycle. Okay. It sounds complex, but I hope it doesn't sound too complex.
No, thank you for explaining that.
Yeah.
A follow-up question. How much would it cost to build that?
It's a conversation to be had, to be totally honest.
That means it's a lot.
More or less, especially now with things that are happening around the world. Shipping is a bit expensive.
So give me a rough number.
I think 500 billion Kenya shillings per reactor.
500 billion Kenya shillings per reactor. And this reactor would generate how many megawatts of power?
The one that is inevitable we're going to choose is going to be 1,170
megawatts.
So if you guys Google and see which reactor is that generates that, you can more or less like narrow down to a specific technology.
Okay, so this, let's say 1,700 megawatts.
No, 1,700, 1,170.
Okay, 1,170 megawatts.
Yes.
Let's round it off and say 1,200 megawatts.
Yes.
In Kenya, I believe there's about 2,100 megawatts of power available.
3,800.
I don't think so.
Generation. Really?
Yeah,
because I've seen that number pop up so many times. Like I've been doing a lot of reading about our generation capacity.
We'll double check that, but I don't think it's. We say 10,000, but the reason Microsoft and so on and so forth.
G42.
Yeah, there's a whole data center aspect which I think they backtracked on, is because
we don't have enough.
We don't have enough power to sustain it. I mean, we don't have enough chief power.
Yes.
So nuclear, and maybe to give people more context, is I think KPLC charges between 11 to 12 to $13 per kilowatt hours. If we go nuclear, does that reduce considerably?
Bro, we're aiming for like 7. You
7?
Get like half, yeah.
Half of that.
Yeah. Like even there's this metric called the levelized cost of electricity, which I personally hate it absolutely, bro. But I've looked at what we are proposing with the finances once we've done all the balancing, and we can now set that levelized cost of electricity from this plant, the cost, and we're going to be lower than geothermal. We're going to be lower at geothermal. The economics of nuclear is very different from economics of coal.
I think geothermal is sub 10 cents as well.
Yes, exactly. It's like, I think it's 9 or something. I should talk about 7.
So who would fund this? The Kenyan government?
So those are decisions you have to make.
Unless it goes private sector.
I don't think private sector has that much equity, that sort of credit. They can access 500 billion, given this one, kwa sababu. The problem, not really the problem, the unique nature of a nuclear power project is that the bulk of your money that you're going to invest, the capex, is going to be required up front. Once you've built up the plant and you've gotten your returns, because most of all this money, the capex is always going to be coming with a bit of interest. The time it takes for you to recover, if you're privately owned, is about 20 years, right? If you're an investor and you are in your 60s, investors who are able to raise, a group of people who are able to raise 500 billion, those are very old guys. Those are guys who, they're not going to live for 20 years. They cannot wait for 20 years to get return on the investment, right? It has to take that into account.
Which is a point I was getting to, that in the current landscape with Kenya, and what we're seeing happening in the private and public sector, where you have entities and candidates trying to monetize off
everything,
public sectors. I think nuclear is a bit of a fast stretch, especially when you're talking that heavy upfront investment, and for us not to see anything in the back end. At least not in our generation. You need people who have the... And actually, the way I can reference this is, there's a saying, great men build trees they know they will never bask in the shadow of. Right? Because they're building it for the future generations. And I don't think we have those kind of politicians or public sector figures that can back this up.
Yeah, there's a very valid case to be made about that, right? Because if you think of it, what 20 years looks like, it's literally us up aside reverting to 2005, more or less, and looking at what was available and trying to imagine someone in 2005 having that sort of mentality, I'm going to get my money in 20 years. It's a bit of a challenge. But sasa hapo ndo sasa we have to be a bit more broad in our value proposition for nuclear. In as much as the only thing we're talking about is going to be this 7 cents per kilowatt hour, we have to make it bankable for the kuomoka crowd, guys who want to strike it rich in a sort of limited time ama duration. And so that's where we introduce things like hydrogen production, cogeneration. Okay. Hydrogen has the potential to be a lot more useful than so the decarbonization of transport. Hydrogen is a lot better than batteries. So we have to do that. We have to look at desalination. We have to look at the creation of process heat. You get? We have to look at the costs we're going to drive and the savings people like you in data centers are going to get when we're selling you electricity at 7 cents. You get? It has to be, if there's an equation whose output is going to be benefit to society, it has to have very many terms. You get? And that's what we're currently doing, and that's something I've done in the book.
So a question. Let's say you build it up in Siaya, was the place, all right? If data centers are the direct benefactors of this, because cheaper power means we can build bigger sites, our cost is much less, profit margins are much higher. Is there a delivery mechanism of the power? It's simply the way you KPLT transports power, right? That's how you would transport from nuclear to us.
There's no... Okay, of course you're going to get these new T-lines, like a grid that's able to evacuate. I see people talking about like a grid that can accommodate 1,000 megawatts. That's not the issue. The issue is creating a grid that can accommodate a third of a generation capacity appearing at the snap of a finger in your sort of area of jurisdiction. But we don't have to worry about that because we've seen a precedence. Ethiopia, that Grand Renaissance Dam, I think it was like 5 gigawatts at the snap of a finger. And the reason why that was possible was this power pool.
Whatever happened to that issue with Ethiopia and Egypt? Because when they created that dam,
they wanted to bomb it.
The flow of Nile. Have they discussed?
Yeah, these Egyptians were just trying to be mischievous.
No, but to be honest, what Ethiopians were doing was saying, this is our river.
No.
Suck my dick, this is not your river. It goes through the entire continent, and it affects... Because if you put up a dam up here, it affects a village next door in the floor. But this is the Nile. The Nile...
It's passing through so many countries and whatever.
Yeah.
So what happened is that when these Brits were moving out, when they were leaving, it was not even when they were leaving. I saw that treaty was all the way back in 1952. So when they were signing that treaty giving all water rights to these downstream countries, Egypt and parts of Sudan, it was racist as hell. Because I think their logic was, this big resource in the middle of Africa that so many countries are connected to, the only people who can are people who know how to use it. And it was going to be the Egyptians. Na hapo tu chini, hapo kiasi tu in South Sudan. The Arab is part of it, right? Na sasa the Egyptians, despite them having historical rights to the Nile, that's what they say.
You're more by the way.
Thank you. So it was a racist thing. Na surprisingly, the person who came na to negotiate that contract was actually Martha Karua. You remember that time she marshaled people and we came up with a new document, a new treaty on the Nile?
We need another Martha Karua.
She delivers.
Wait.
She delivers.
Wait. Actually, I'm getting my swords crossed. Who was the lady who was responsible for stamping against deforestation?
That was Nani, Wangari Maathai.
Okay, yeah. Actually,
she was also another legit one.
Yeah, but by the way, with the floods in Nairobi, part of the cause is because of deforestation, right?
Bro, Kenya...
Sorry to segue. Anyway, you were saying about... And we can talk about that as well.
Yeah, so... I was talking about this capacity of appearing in the grid, the local grid, like 1,000 gigawatts. 1,000 gigawatts... Not 1,000 gigawatts. 1,000 megawatts. 1,000 megawatts is child play compared to what Ethiopia introduced to their mix, and they actually want to build a nuclear plant. They're going to build 2 units in... that there's a Lake Tana. It's called Lake Tana. They're going to build a new unit up.
And have they got funding for it?
So, yeah, there's a new pathway to funding that has just appeared, specifically for the BRICS nations. They have this BRICS nuclear... is it BRICS nuclear? Is it society or something? There's a BRICS nuclear thing that they've created where they more or less want to operate as an IMF for nuclear power plants.
Okay.
You get... So... Government to government, you're going to get Russians to build your plant, and then you're going to spend 60 years. They run it maybe even.
Do you know what I see, though? I mean, with the advent of these AI and modern technologies and the way we're all getting connected, even if it's not AI data centers, the edge and compute stuff, I think the right industries to invest in are power and water.
Yes.
I mean, just finding a way to tap into those, because the amount of power shortage there'll be, bro.
You know, people never understand what, for most people, it's just figures. When they see on a graph, you're talking about Kenya's per capita consumption per person is like 190 kilowatt hours per year. People don't understand why that is unacceptable. Kenya's per capita consumption, annual per capita consumption, is lower than someone in Libya. It's lower than someone in North Korea. You know, all these countries that when you're asked what is a failed state, Tama countries, you know, Kenyans, we tend to lie to ourselves that we're very westernized, and we tend to look down on other countries, even countries that are UAP. If we're going to look at it purely in the amount of electricity you're consuming as a person, which according to me is a much better metric to measure poverty than $1 or $2, Kenya's situation is debilitating poverty, bro. With 190 kilowatt hours per annually, it means that the average Kenyan does not have access to education. The moment the sun sets, everything stops. It means that food, you know, people tend to think that electricity is just about the lights we turn on. People forget that by the time you're getting a cloth cover, there's an entire back end that involves transport, manufacturing, right? Cost addition, all those things. You get, one of the things that I've been seeing quite a lot over the years is this sort of import substitution talk. You've heard of it. And one of the things that is normally targeted quite a lot is the mtumba, right?
Yeah.
People want to manufacture clothes hapa karibu ama kitu kama hiyo. Using what power? With 190 kilowatt hours. Nani tried to build a nini hapa in Kenya. What's his name? Aliko Dangote. He wanted to build a cement up because he could see a lot of infrastructure happening, and there was that Pan-African mentality of a supply chain that is in South Africa, in sub-Saharan Africa. He could not because we didn't have enough power. The other day, our president rightfully identified that there's a lot of power rationing happening. There are some people in Kenya in 2026 who this electricity that is the line between life and death in certain contexts, it's rationed to them. Right? There's this thing called the Human Development Index, which tracks all the development indicators, longevity, literacy, child mortality. There's a direct correlation. If you have more access to electricity, if your country is awash with so much electricity that people don't know what to do with it, you are by default going to live longer. Just imagine what that means. A kid born in Libya, now that Nani passed away, he was deposed, we now have slave markets in Libya, right? So a kid born in Libya who's going to have twice or thrice the access to electricity than an average Kenyan, this kid or Libya is going to be dodging these slave traders probably all his life. They're going to have a more prosperous life in terms of longevity, in terms of just career development, in terms of food, in terms of medicine. They're going to live a much more prosperous life than someone born in Nairobi. Yeah. It's a direct correlation, and we've really, the reason why this thing has mutated the way it has is that we've allowed ourselves to borrow and embrace narratives that have absolutely nothing to do with us. Sajid, how can I go to a Samburu herdsman and talk to him about renewable energy and his carbon footprint?
Yeah, he won't give a shit.
It's just a waste of time. Even talk to him about nuclear. If I go to those Samburu people who just want their kids wakitoka kazi waweze kufanya homework kwa nyumba badala kwenda kando ya streetlights kufanya na streetlights.
And maybe that's the right question is, we still have places where infrastructure is not fully available. Light is not there. People still living in maniatas and huts, road accessibility, fiber. So rather than spending 500 billion or so on a nuclear power project, shouldn't we at least level up the standards of living of our wananchi before we get there?
But leveling up the standards of living to these people is going to need a lot of energy, right? There's a statement, I think I told you that I'm also involved in that Kenya KAIST thing happening in Konza, because I'm a KAIST person. So I don't know that to call her my boss. I took one of her courses all the way back, and she's more or less in charge of the thing. And I remember when I interviewed her, but I was in Korea when I was interviewing her about Kenya KAIST in Konza. There's a statement she made that has always stayed with me back then. She was telling me how from Nairobi, the CBD, the distance you have to drive before you are in. So CBD, mko sawa, you have your air conditioning, you have your elevators, you have ample supply of electricity, which you can get if you want at a cost, of course, but you can still get it. So she said, if maybe you guys can sort of chip in this. How far from the CBD do you have to drive to get to guys who are living a life that is practically identical to what early man lived? How long do you think you have to drive from the apex of civilization? We call ourselves the capital city of East Africa, right? Right? How far do you need to drive? You're in the capital city of East Africa, in Nairobi, right? How far do you have to drive to see utter energy poverty, 100%? People living the way people used to live 100 years ago.
If you look at Kibra, some parts of it, right? It's within the city.
So Kibra is good, if you ask me. It's still electrified. Still electrified, eh? And you guys, I saw Beast was telling you, vile guys use mabatis as earthing. Yeah, but it's still there. How far do you think where you can go and there's no electricity? You want electricity and there's none. How far? Fazar?
I'd say less, maybe 30-minute drive.
It's much lower. Yeah. And also, this depends on how where you're driving towards, right? If you're driving towards...
past Wayaki way,
if
you go 30 minutes, there's some pockets inside over there where you still don't
it's
have...
It's Ocha.
Yeah.
100%. Ile kabisa where it's debilitating, where guys have to... There's this... Growing up in a place where we've always had electricity really gives us a lot of a bias, where the moment you walk into a dark room, Sajid, even all you guys here, is you just reach to the side of the door because there are people with that sort of their reality. You can imagine growing up where the thing I normally say is that this moment of let there be light at night, that's a life-changing event. For us, we've grown up with it. We don't really see it as something very revolutionary and something that is as dramatic as it can get. But a Samburu herdsman, that example I normally give, this person mwenye, he's literally the first person in the line of all humans who were fooling around for him to appear, I don't know how many years later. He's the first person who's going to turn night into day. People don't understand that how life-changing that is. And the vast majority of people in this country, that's their reality. You get? So yeah, I don't know whether to call it. I'm really happy that I've discovered my calling, very early.
It is a noble cause. It is something that you're quite passionate about.
Yeah.
I think it's niche in the sense that not everyone is fully aware of it. And I do appreciate that there are steps being made to educate people. Are you earning, is your livelihood now coming from the roles you play in developing nuclear energy in Kenya?
Yes. And I also teach. I don't know if I told you I teach.
You teach?
I teach, Maze. I'm a lecturer. I'm sure Fazar is going to be even more shocked.
You're a lecturer where?
This Southeastern Kenya University.
Okay.
Yeah, I teach control engineering and I also teach quantum electronics. Lasers. I love lasers. See all my stories on Nini's just excision and these lasers. Absolutely love it. So that's what I'm teaching these 5th years in Kitui of all places. Do it remotely.
Nikuliza ni pesa mzuri.
Okay, let me look at a way to answer this. There's no one who teaches for the money. That's what I can say.
Teaching is a calling.
Yeah, trust me.
Call these nuts.
Trust me. Like it's.
You've seen some professors, they're driving nice
they
cars.
roll whatever. Those are guys who've struck the word. Sajid, I think I'm dooming myself to be someone who's gonna be 80. Nah, instead of rolling around in cash, I'm just gonna be these people. Is a calling. You're doing good things because it's your calling. I don't want to be that. I want to do both. I want to be wealthy as fuck. Okay. I'm supposed to cuss, but I've cussed there. I want to be...
You didn't cuss this entire episode?
He's been trying very hard.
Right? And I've done well, right? Yeah.
So it was just me cussing?
Yes. But let's cuss.
He's cussed so much.
No, he doesn't do it so much, if you ask me. Like, I think the last time he cussed was when we were talking about this derby we want to organize. Right? Amma? I haven't heard you cuss after that.
Okay, so I'll try not to cuss. I think my parents have given up because
They have to be like conservative as hell, man.
There was a point where my mom is like, I don't like that when you cast, and I stopped. And they would watch episodes of me,
And then they find
it's very good. And then there's one where I'm like, fuck.
and that becomes the topic of conversation.
Yeah, and then eventually it just stopped, and they're like, this guy can't be helped. So 80 episodes in, they don't watch. But I have to be fuck it, man. You know, you have to be able to express yourselves in your.
No, I think.
Okay, my question
we
was,
have to be.
humanity, simulation. We're living in a simulation, right? Maybe you should believe in that. What does your road take you to? What gives you contentment? Like if I ask you two, Byron, and the sister-in-law's cousin. Okay, I'm just joking. If I ask you two, what gives Sajid motivation based on just the limited exposure we've had over the last 2 months? What would you say? Rokra is money. Byron? Yeah.
Me, I don't think it's the same. I do not think it's the same. There's a like your shift, Sajid. Your shift, and I can see it to more or less embrace this podcast as your thing, where you are even willing to drop. Because I remember we talked about this quite a while back about the sabbatical thingy or whatever. Now, how if you were to take that sabbatical, it would be the day 9 to 5 thingy that would drop, and then the podcast will remain. There's something there. There's something there, and even that thing where you're saying that you're gonna create a studio where guys just hang out and you just do a sort of Joe Rogan thing. So there's something there.
There are two things, and the reason I was asking that was to get to your why. But my why right now has become about, yes, definitely money, financial independence, but building a community, bro. A community of like-minded men.
Exactly.
Strong men, strong-willed men. We need that. We don't have that. We don't have a place where we can generally have warriors, an army together. I think we've been cordoned off too much towards comfort and drugs and sex and this and that. We need an establishment of powered men. And by the way, there's a video by CBS Group. I'm not sure if you know these guys. They're former Navy SEALs. Byron, just remind me. We'll put that video up over here and I'll link it in the description. It's a 1-hour video. I encourage all of you in this room to watch that. What I wanted to ask you was, what's your why?
What's my why? Do I really have a why, bro? Because most of the things...
Are you doing it for money? Are you doing it just to spread the gospel to humanity? What gives you fulfillment at the end of it?
So, definitely, I can't really say that it's been a source of as consistent a source of wealth, of revenue as I've wanted. Because, dude, I've done so many things in this field, right? Spending an entire year trying to get that nuclear society up with my colleagues. All these things that I do with the outreaches, appearing on podcasts to talk about nuclear and E082 zote. There's something there that is not coupled with money, right? It was just coupled with, I don't know, just applying something you learned. You spent a significant time of my life learning about this technology, and suddenly I have an opportunity to do something with it. Right. I consider it a privilege, kabisa, because most people don't get that chance.
And I think any day above ground is a privilege, right? I mean, despite us complaining and bitching and mourning, specifically me this episode, the people around you are in good health. Are you in good health?
Yeah.
Is your body functioning normal?
Yes. And you know, that definition is always changing, kabisa. One of the things I've come to realize, last time we were talking about divorces, things. Last week, one of my friends lost his kid. One of my friends lost his kids. This is someone I've known literally when I was like 15 years, just traumatized guys in that in the middle of Ujaluo in Awaluya. We bonded very fast. He was our class captain all through. We're now in the age where our friends are losing kids. Kids are dying and they're burying them.
Can we talk about it, or you can tell me offline? I'm sorry to hear that.
Like, just sickness, more or less, a complication.
Which is another thing. I used to be a big follower of Greg Plitt, and he passed away tragically as well. But he always used to say, if you really want appreciation of life, go to, I think it's called Pediatric ward, where the kids are who won't live past a certain year. It's just like, just take a stroll over there and look at all those kids who give their left arm just to be in your position. These are kids who won't live to their next birthday, 11, 12, 13. I used to date a doctor who used to work within the pediatric ward. It's called Pediatric ward, right? For kids. Is it? Can we double check that?
Pediatrician.
Yeah.
Mimi.
And so she said that she couldn't take it anymore because seeing old people get sick and adults, there's something that you get used to it, but something about kids who've just started their life and it's ending so tragically. But then again, bro, there's all the questions about whether... Do you believe in simulation theory? Like, do you believe you've been controlled?
No, I don't believe in us being controlled. Like, our fate is more or less programmed.
There's a weird thing I saw. One second. I just saw this today. And it's weird, and that's why I say the simulation exists as though we're in a matrix. So the creator of ChatGPT is named Altman.
Sam Altman.
As in alternative to human.
He's not the person who created it, right?
Can you stop interrupting? Jesus Christ. Listen. The creator of ChatGPT is named Altman, as in alternative to human. He leads OpenAI, right? Which is completely closed. His main opponent is a company called Anthropic, meaning human-centered, and is led by Amodei, as in loves gods. Then there's Gemini, meaning two-faced, from a company that said that it will not do no evil. Do you understand? Like, it's these are all realities that have been faced as though it's a game.
And I think the issue is this, Sajid, is that so many of the things, you remember back in the day when such things were conspiracy theories, and there had to be you had a tinfoil hat. You remember that people used to say that sounds like something you just pull out of nowhere because you have a tinfoil hat. And then you see some of these things and realize that those people were talking about some of these things knew actually what they're talking about. In 2009, 2010, when people were telling you about some Illuminati, rich people who eat babies, right?
I still think that's true. I think that's why child smuggling happens.
Mimi, I was one of those people who would laugh at such stuff, who would equate people who make such comments with flat earthers. I was literally one of those people. And then literally over the last, when we look at that Epstein Kathingi, what of those people, like the sort of stuff people do on this planet, right? So, I don't know. The way life is, and also a problem that's going to come, and I think Mimi, for me, it's a curse I have to accept, is being too much aware of what's happening around you and trying to find a way to be happy regardless of what's happening around you is a survival skill, Sajid, in this modern world. Me, the things I learn, even about people I work with or people I grew up with, that automatically just 1 minute niko sawa, I'm just hanging out, I want to play my video game. The next minute I learn something about mtu mwenye naona kila siku and my mood just tanks, right? You have to learn how to ignore, what to ignore and what to embrace. Now the person who has taught me that is probably, you're talking about pediatricians. One of the most admirable people I know is, they're called neonatologists. They literally deal with the new, premature born babies. You get this person. He sees stillbirths and kids who don't even make it to a day on a roll on a daily basis, and it's not turned him into a cynical person who's gonna be cruel, who's gonna maybe tell his kids and people around them that they need to enjoy life and they need to focus on all their priorities. You see, it doesn't turn him into that person. It's turned him into the kindest person you're ever gonna find. Okay. He has figured out that elusive formula of which cocktails of the bitter things that life throws at you to make something that can give you a lot of joy. They say that life is not a loaf of bread. It's just 2 ingredients. You have a bit of butter there, a bit of water there, and maybe an egg or two and a flour. It's a salad. You have everything from the bitter pineapple that someone didn't taste kabla kuweke, but I make a dressing kiasi hapo ya honey glaze. You get, it has to be a salad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. This has been an interesting podcast.
You notice we always finish our podcast with a bit of a positive, eh? You notice?
I appreciate that. Maybe one last negative.
Hebu niambie.
How did Fazar meet you?
I can't even put a finger on when we met Fazar Maze, right?
He's a good kid, eh?
I told you, he's a good guy. He likes to pretend as if he's feral, but he's not.
Oh, yeah.
You know, this guy, we used to do, you know those LAN parties we used to do with the Beast at Galana? I think that's where we started hanging out, eh? We knew each other through Beast. You know, Beast, I've known Beast since we were like babies, I'm saying.
What do you think of him?
Nani Beast, ama huyo?
No, what's a Beast, this guy?
He's a decent person. Najua, sometimes he says vulgar stuff, but all that is very cosmetic. He's a very, very decent person.
I don't think
one of the worries I had, na sahi I'm gonna okay, initially when I heard he was hanging out with you, I was a bit worried, to be totally honest. But
you thought he'd take advantage of me, huh?
No. I thought, you know, you get some very feral guys in your podcast. They're gonna rub off on him. There's a time I didn't want him hanging out with some of these guys in the gaming community. People who are very stupid. And I wanted to take him to Cheche bookshop Hugo. To be those.
To pick Somali mamas.
Number one, that. You get. Right? I'd actually identified one lady for him.
Yeah.
And then the next thing I hear, I wanted him to hang out Hugo because he's a legit person. He might be a bit vulgar once in a while. Now he might have a thing to say. We have to give Fazar a bit of slack. You're 25, right?
26.
If you see the way he carries himself when it's not time to talk about serious stuff, he's a very mature kid. You get. Na sasa you don't want him hanging around those other feral guys I was telling you about. Guys who think that waitresses...
Byron,
how can you look at a waitress, analipwa, kukuletea food, then you interpret that she's interested in you? I didn't want him hanging out with... I'd rather he hang out with you. Because I know you try to present that... It's a survival tactic, Sajid.
Not really. Present what?
That I'm gonna rampage through you or whatever, and I'm gonna, that thingy, right? But at the core of it, you're a decent guy.
Yeah, that has to be a real.
He's a decent guy. He's not gonna send you and ufanye ninuko that you're gonna be out there doing like imposing like emotional damage. You're gonna do stuff to girls that's gonna leave them with vendettas. They're gonna carry to their grave. You get. Those are the type of people I want to hang with. Not those. I call them aurochs. You know the way this Neolithic man who was the ancestor to modern humans. So aurochs is the ancestor of livestock. I don't want you hanging out with ancestors to livestock. You get. So this is the place for this guy to be. Very happy.
Agar, thank you so much. Guys, nuclear energy in Kenya.
Yeah.
Agar's book, we'll put it in the description.
I don't know which camera do I look at.
That one.
Do you trust, when you look at this face, do you feel like anything? You know, I've been told that you don't look like a serious guy.
I'm happy that I know someone quite closely that has written a book. It's a big achievement. It's not easy. And something that's published on Amazon. I'll buy it to support. How much is it?
It's like $10, I think.
Okay. So
but there's a printed copy that's coming out.
I'm not that broke this month, so I'll...
And you know, like I plotted all these graphs. I plotted mwenyewe. You get
really
like even they come up. I went to KAIST. I've told you I went to KAIST.
I know you're a very smart guy.
Yeah, Mazi. I plotted all these things.
So guys, do show him some support.
Yes, please. Nunua nini? Nunua GLE tafadhali.
Agar has been a cohort of the podcast. He's supported us quite a lot. As always, brother, it's been a pleasure.
Cheers, man.
Guys, thank you so much. This has been Coffee Bomb. We'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.
All the best.